Hello and welcome. You're watching NTV 24/7. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Let's begin with the latest COVID situation in the country. Let's look at the positive case in the past 24 hours. Over 3,43,000. To give you a perspective, the cases have actually gone down about 5.4% in the past 24 hours. Deaths, for that matter, past 24 hours, about 4,000. Again, they have gone down 3% in the past one day. Tests in the past 24 hours, over 18,75,000, gone up, thankfully, 0.6%, marginally over there in the past 24 hours. And the positivity rate at the moment, about 18.29%. Vaccinations in the past 24 hours, over 20 lakh at this point. The good news, however, is that that's also increased marginally, and that's about 7% in the past 24 hours. But the good news of the day came as India got its third vaccine, Sputnik V. It was administered for the first time in Hyderabad today. So we thought we'll give you a quick roundup really of the 3 vaccines available in India at this point. Let's look at Sputnik V versus Covishield versus Covaxin. All 3 now available for use in the country. So look at the efficacy over here. Sputnik V at the moment 91%, Covaxin 81%, Covishield about 71% over here. Further increases to about 90% if the 2 doses are actually spaced out. If you look at the other parameters, not just the efficacy at this point, you'll see the rates quite different as well at this point of all the 3. Sputnik V costs about, this is the imported version, remember, once it's manufactured in India, it could cost much less. Possibly about 995 at the moment. Covaxin 150 to the central government, 400 to the state governments, 1200 to private hospitals. Covishield 150 to central government, 300 to state government, 600 to private hospitals.
We are working very closely with our Russian partner and the Gamaleya Institute on this. As you might be aware, the Sputnik Light has already been approved in Russia. This demonstrated an efficacy of 79.4%. This is a single shot vaccine. What we are doing in India is working closely with our partners in Russia, getting all that data, assessing that data. We are looking at the data on day 28, data on day 42, both on safety and immunogenicity. And we expect to have a dialogue with the Indian regulator on Sputnik Light.
And Prime Minister today had another address to the nation. He did talk about vaccines, said that around 18 crore vaccine doses have been given so far at the government hospitals at least. And he urged the people to take their vaccine whenever their turn comes, but did not mention, sadly, the vaccine shortage or what the plan was that country had.
देश भर में अभी तक करीब 18 करोड़ वैक्सीन डोज दी जा चुकी है। देश भर के सरकारी अस्पतालों में मुफ्त टीकाकरण किया जा रहा है। इसलिए जब भी आपकी बारी आए तो टीका जरूर लगवाएंगा। ये टीका हमें कोरोना के विरुद्ध सुरक्षा कवच देगा।
And let's look at the vaccination stocks, how they are really stacked up across the country. The next report will take you through the details.
Gurugram's first drive-in vaccination centre, with lines of cars already crowded outside for a Covishield shot. This a day after the government has doubled the interval between the 2 doses to 12 to 16 weeks. Though a vaccine shortage is seen as one of the reasons behind this decision, the government calls it purely a scientific one.
जो इनिशियल स्टडीज करी गई थी इस पर्टिकुलर वैक्सीन के बारे में ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी ने, उन्होंने 44 हफ्ते तक के बारे में भी बोला कि भाई 44 हफ्ते तक वैक्सीन दी जा सकती है दूसरी डोज.
The advantage of doing drive-in is, of course, A, it takes the pressure away from hospitals, and B, there's automatic social distancing. We are working very closely with the Gurugram authorities to see if we can get more vaccines to conduct this drive in other malls as well.
It's a very good arrangement, except for they should display how many doses are left over, because otherwise people have to keep waiting, and for elderly citizens it becomes very difficult.
A government centre where vaccinations are being given here. Karnataka has of course stopped the giving of vaccinations to those in the age group 18 to 44 at government centres. Some private centres are still giving the vaccines. The private hospitals who have acquired the vaccines directly are still giving vaccinations to those between the age group 18 to 44 who have registered. But even then, preference is given to those above 45 who need their second dose.
But the vaccine shortage is a reality and hitting the drive across the country.
Government is instructing us to complete the second dose. Once we get enough stock, we will start with the first dose, ma'am.
मैं नहीं चाहूँगा और वक्त लेने के लिए, क्योंकि जब फर्स्ट ले चुका हूँ तो दूसरा तो मेरा ज़रूरी है लेना. जैसे वैक्सीन की शॉर्टेज हो रही है तो सबको मिलना चाहिए, ठीक है, तो इसलिए हो सकता है कि टाइम पीरियड बढ़ा दिए हैं.
Bharat Biotech has now agreed that its vaccine will be manufactured by 3 PSUs. The government also says it will have over 2 billion doses and 8 vaccines in the country by the end of December. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Let's take you through a shocker of a story coming from Goa now, where 75 patients are dead in 4 days, all at one hospital. In fact, the city's biggest COVID facility over there, the Goa Medical College and Hospital. How did this happen? Well, apparently due to logistical issues in the supply of medical oxygen. 13 were reported dead on Friday, 15 on Thursday, 21 on Wednesday, 26 on Tuesday. All these deaths reported between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Helpless patients inside Goa's biggest government COVID hospital scrambling for oxygen and beds, some even lying on the floor as beds are full capacity. And outside, a desperate appeal by a young daughter to save her parents' lives. Cecil Rodriguez, a former runner-up of a dance reality show, whose father and mother are both battling for their life inside the COVID ward.
Just requesting everyone around the world, please pray for Goa and for all the Goans, because it's very bad. It's a very bad scene here. And oximeters, which is the most important thing, are not being given to the doctors. What is happening with this government of ours? I mean, what decisions have they taken? Small things which are so important are being neglected.
The drums will fall silent as Dominique Araujo, a musician with a local band, lost his battle with COVID and with the system on the fateful night. While the oxygen levels dipped at the hospital, he was being moved to another ward without the support of any oxygen cylinder or even an attendant. As the oxygen levels dipped to zero, Dominique collapsed and died.
There were no beds available, but luckily we were able to get one bed. For 3 days he had no oxygen, no fan, but he was just lying there. The condition there was still very pitiful because every day, every time there were so many deaths.
In a horrific turn of events, 13 more patients died at this Goa government hospital on Friday as oxygen levels dipped for the 4th straight day, almost at the same time, between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., taking the toll up to 75. The state government is facing opposition heat, with the Goa Forward Party, a former ally of the ruling BJP, filing a police complaint against the Chief Minister and senior government officers.
Now there is a complete collapse of governance in Goa. People believe now that more than the government, it should be the High Court that should rule Goa, because the government is doing nothing other than photo ops and filing cases against those who expose them.
74 people have lost their lives at the Goa Medical College due to lack of oxygen. It's not a death, rather it's a murder, and the blame with full responsibility lies on the Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Sawant, and the Health Minister, Mr. Vishwajit Rane.
The Goa Congress too plans to file a criminal complaint against the Chief Minister and the state's Health Minister. With Arturo D'Souza in Goa and Saurav Chakravarti, Anusya Mathur for NDTV.
Meanwhile, back home, healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses and other staff have been under tremendous pressure over the last 1 year, and it only increased in the last 10 weeks. At the Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospitals, 4 nurses take care of more than 10 patients against the normal 4. Doctors too are overstretched. Sam Daniel brings you this report.
This is a COVID ward in Chennai's government-owned Rajiv Gandhi Medical College Hospital. Attenders and family members are helping COVID patients without wearing protective gear and ignoring basic COVID safety protocols, unwittingly exposed to heavy viral load.
டாக்டர்ஸ் பத்தலை, நர்ஸும் பத்தலை, அவங்களால ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியல. நாங்கள் என்னங்க பண்ண முடியும் சார்? எல்லாம் தொந்தரவுன்னு எல்லாரும் வந்துக்கிட்டே இருக்காங்க. எங்களால் பத்தலை சொல்லுங்கள் சார், திருப்பி நம்ம 4 வாட்டி சொன்னால் தான் வராங்க. 3 நாள் 2 நாள் வந்து எந்த மாத்திரை மருந்து கொடுக்கல. அந்த எது கேட்டால் வருங்க, வெயிட் பண்ணுங்கள், ஏங்க அவசரப்படுறீங்க, வெயிட் பண்ணுங்கன்னு மாத்திரை மருந்து தரல. ஆக்சிஜன் போட்டாங்க, அதோட சரி.
At Chennai's Government Stanley Medical College Hospital, the attenders are in close proximity to the oxygen beds meant for positive patients. Experts say 10% of COVID spread all from hospitals despite best precautions. Violation of these guidelines, they say, could turn into a super spreader, infecting themselves besides frontline warriors, including doctors and nurses. Healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses and other staff have been under tremendous pressure over the last 1 year, and it only increased in the last 10 weeks. At the Rajiv Gandhi Government Hospital, 4 nurses take care of more than 10 patients against the normal 4. Doctors too are overstretched, as 50% of the entire force, including doctors and nurses, would be on mandatory quarantine. Off camera, government doctors and nurses blame it on shortage of health workers. With an exponential rise in numbers, around 7,000 every day in Chennai alone, they say they are unable to handle everyone.
It is a mistake. I will personally feel that despite severely warning all the hospital never to allow attender, but rather to inform him. We have seen that in certain places the attenders are being allowed to support the COVID patients, and if required, Honorable CM has said, let us employ 25% more staff.
The second wave is hitting very hard. Doctors and nurses have been under severe fatigue and stress for more than a year. With the state's robust healthcare system showing signs of distress, it would augur well for the new government to urgently address this. In Chennai, with camera person Shah Vijay, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.
Here in the national capital, B.V. Srinivas, social media's new poster boy who tirelessly helped thousands of people online during this time of crisis, and many others like him joined in. Today, he was questioned by the Delhi police. In fact, he was not alone. Dilip Pandey of the Aam Aadmi Party and some members of Gautam Gambhir's team all questioned by the Delhi police on how did they have access to all this help.
Indian Youth Congress Chief Srinivas BV, whose Twitter account has been among the most active in responding to COVID-related SOS, was questioned by the Delhi police today on allegations linked to distribution of COVID medicines. Mr. Srinivas said he was not worried as he had done nothing illegal.
हमने इस पे ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं ले रहा है. हमने लोगों का हम मदद करेंगे. अभी भी ऑलरेडी अभी मैंने जस्ट करके आया. हम रुकेगा नहीं है, नॉन स्टॉप करते रहेंगे. वो लोग जो भी उन्होंने जवाब मांगा है मैं जवाब दे दिया हूँ, बट मेरा काम नहीं रुकेंगे.
But soon after this news went viral, other political figures took to social media to say they too had been questioned. Aam Aadmi Party leader Dilip Pandey said he too was questioned by the crime branch. Delhi BJP spokesperson Harish Khurana too said he was questioned, and the BJP MP from East Delhi constituency Gautam Gambhir said he had provided details to the Delhi police. The PIL filed by Dr. Deepak Singh says politicians belonging to different political parties have allegedly indulged in illegal distribution of medications used in COVID treatment. The Delhi High Court on the 4th of May said In relation to instances falling within the jurisdiction of this court, we direct the petitioner to place his grievances before the Commissioner of Delhi Police, who shall examine the same and respond to the petitioner.
आज इस देश के हर व्यक्ति को निर्णय करना पड़ेगा कि क्या मुसीबत में ऑक्सीजन पहुंचाना अपराध है। लगता है नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कहा कि हाँ ये अपराध है, इसीलिए आज भारतीय राष्ट्रीय युवा कांग्रेस के कार्यालय में बी श्रीनिवास जी और युवा कांग्रेस की पूछताछ के लिए दिल्ली पुलिस को अमित शाह जी और नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने भेजा है।
Cricketer turned politician B.V. Srinivas, the chief of the Indian Youth Congress, has garnered appreciation and affection by many people through his social media page for his efforts in the COVID crisis. But many also ask, is it a crime to help people gasping for an oxygen cylinder and some medicines? With camera person Sushil Rathi and Sanjay Kaushik in New Delhi, Shanakshi Chakravarti for NDTV.
News from Andhra Pradesh now, where the CID has arrested YSRCP rebel Raghu Ramakrishna Raju. He's an MP, but a rebel one in that party. Another CID arrest now, with the MP also being slapped with sedition charges. According to a statement released by the government, case has been registered by the additional DGP CID in allegations that Raju was indulging in hate speech. And Raju asked the special CBI court to cancel bail to Jagan in the DA case. An arrest comes within weeks of moving plea to cancel the bail. With that, time for a quick break. Back in a moment.